This is a show that will blow your mind, but it might not. It all depends. Do you like breakfast and a book with a friend? Hey, hey, hey. I don't have my spinny chair. I don't have my spinny chair because we were doing Reboot It and Nerd Goat and it kept squeaking. So I had to take it out because it squeaks on this recording, and no one wants to hear a podcast where it's like, eep, eep, eep. We're talking about Bane today. No one wants to hear that. So I have replaced the chair for a more solid chair, but now I can't spin. Trying to spin, there's no spinning. Ugh, if only there were more spinning, you guys. So, welcome to Breakfast and a Book with Swallow. Today, we are going to talk about Jim Butcher, Full Moon, which is the second book in the Dresden Files. And we also are going to show off the weird breakfast burrito that I made from leftover stuff. So I'll show you it, and then I will describe it. It's going to be fantastic, wonderful. You're going to be totally excited because I am showing you the food that I am eating during quarantine. My friend Rich Slayton described my channel as watching a person's descent into madness step by step. So I hope that's not totally true, he says wide-eyed. Okay, here we go. Look at my breakfast burrito. Breakfast burrito. Go. Turn around, camera. There we go. Oh, yeah. So we added some sour cream. What I did was I fried an egg. I got rice that has green chili. And what I did was I pan-fried some green chili and some mushrooms. And then put cheese into rice, regular old rice. A little bit of garlic. A little bit of salt and pepper, of course, because who doesn't put garlic, salt, and pepper in literally everything? And then some chicken that I had pan fried as well, and then an egg I just threw on there on top today and made me a breakfast burrito. That's how I say breakfast burrito. I'm from New Mexico. I'm allowed to. Now, let's see if I can actually roll the burrito correctly for once. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, not bad. Look at that. Rolling a breakfast burrito is not as easy as you think. All right. It's actually really good. Tea, of course, although it is 90 degrees today, so Alex, my roommate, says descent into madness with semi-odd but probably mad delicious foods and good books. Exactly. What's wrong with that, you guys? So, today, man, that actually was really good. We're talking about Jim Butcher, Full Moon. I couldn't find the first book of the Dresden Files because I think I have it on digital, or it might be in another box of books that I haven't unpacked as of yet. But this is book 2. Let's look at what book 1 is. Stormfront. That's right. Stormfront is the first book. I have it in digital, so that's the last time I read it. This is Full Moon. Jim Butcher. He is probably my second favorite author after Terry Brooks. Somewhere around there. I've read all of these books obsessively and repeatedly over and over again. Just because basically what it is this guy, Dresden, who does not really have a hat ever, but they made a joke out of it and then just kept the joke. So he has a hat in there. And because he's basically mashed up genres pretty expertly. A little bit of a Western feel, even though it's not in Western times. He is a wizard who is for hire in Chicago. So it has all like the urban fantasy thing because it's regular world, and within that regular world, there is a hidden world of wizards, mean ass vampires, different courts of vampires. There's the there's a red court of vampires who's a little more of the traditional style, suck your blood, not good with sun, etc., etc. Super tough, smarter. There's the black vampire court, which is just maniacs who are like blood fiends. There's the white court vampires who are succubus, and they basically use they feed off of your emotions. Let's see. I can't see all of the. Come on, tell me more. Okay, here we go. There's a comment, and I was gonna read it. Alex says, second favorite author equals badass writer, I'm assuming. And yeah, for genre mashups. Yes, exactly. He is a very badass writer. And it's sort of like mystery, fantasy, and a little bit of a Western feel to it in style, which is why they kind of put the hat on there, because the guy's got a big duster. He shoots a gun, even though he's a wizard, and a lot of the wizards carry just swords and their staffs and stuff like that. But he also has a gun because he knows that he has to deal with crazy things all the time, and that's what he should do. He's also for hire. He's a detective in the first few books. It gets way deep later on, a little more fantasy world thrown in there, elves, etc., etc. When I say elves, I mean fairy, really, fairy. And there are some elves too. But I'm going to read the back of the book, because even though I've read this author a bazillion times, I'm going to go with my normal rule of when I look for a new book, and it's from an author I don't know, I read the back of the book after I see the name or the front and see if anybody I like suggests it or anything like that. So, here's the back of the book. Harry Dresden, wizard. Lost items found, paranormal investigations, consulting, advice, reasonable rates, no love potions, endless purses, or other entertainment. Business has been slow. Okay, business has been dead. And not even the undead variety. You would think Chicago would have a little more action for the only professional wizard in the phone book, but lately, Harry Dresden hasn't been able to dredge up any kind of work, magical or mundane. But just when it looks like he can't afford his next meal, a murder comes along that requires his particular brand of supernatural expertise. A brutally mutilated corpse, strange-looking paw prints, a full moon. Take 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. That's right, this is a werewolf book. Or is it? Okay, actually, it totally is. So let's see. We're going to open up the book to the middle and read some of the writing of Jim Butcher. Because that's the other thing I like to do. I open the book and I say, let's check out this dude's writing. What's up, Stouty? I'm doing my thing.
I'm sorry, I just want to try to get the...
Come on in. We got a guinea pig, guys. And so now it looks like we got the guinea pig some water. Yay! Yeah, we've had to drink it feed water the guinea pig with a little dropper thing that we got. So she seems to be doing pretty well so far. But we want to make sure that she's doing great because she's adorable. She makes little chittery noises. Okay, anyways. So let's open up to the book. And, ooh, this is a good point. Oh, yeah, actually, I want to read the one behind because I know exactly what this is. Murphy, I shouted, roll! She saw me with the blasting rod, and her eyes flew wide. The loop-garoo shook its shoulders free of Carmichael's corpse and bit completely through the riot gun, thrashing its head left and right. Murphy scuttled sideways across the tiles and through the hole in the wall the beast had made earlier. It took one snap at her, and then whipped its head around to snarl at me. I saw the crimson light reflected in its eyes as I focused every bit of fury in the world on the tip of my rod and shouted, Fuego! I saw the reflection image in the beast's eyes brighten to nuclear white in front of a tall, lean figure of black shadow, saw the flood of energy as big around as my hips rushed down the hall like a lance of red lightning and hammer into the beast. Sound rushed along with it, a mountain's roar that made the gunshots and screams of the evening seem like a child's whispers in comparison. The power lifted the loop-garoo, hurtling it over the wounded figures moaning on the floor, down the hall, into holding, through the security door, through the cell door immediately across from it, then through the brick exterior wall of the building, and out into the Chicago night. But it wasn't over yet. The lance of power carried the Loop Guru across the street, through the windows of the condemned building across from the station, and through a series of walls within each one shattering with a red brick roar. Before the red fire died away, I could see the far side of the building across the street, and the lights of the next block over through the hole the Loop Guru had made. I stood in a blood-splattered hallway, filled with the moans of the wounded and the wail of the escape alarm. The sounds of emergency vehicles drifted into the building through the ragged hole in the wall. A slender young black man stood up from the front floor of the cell the Loop Guru had smashed through, and gawked at the hole in the wall, then followed the destruction back down the hallway to where I stood. "Damn," he said, and had made the same hushed tone to it as a holy word. Ah! See how intense that is? He's also pretty funny. The guy, Jim Butcher, he kind of, the character, Dresden, makes some dad jokes, daddy-ish jokes. Daddy-ish? I don't know. That sounds weirder than I had meant it to sound, guys. I don't mean like as in daddy. I mean as in like, Dad, I made some dad jokes. I assume that's what a dad sounds like. Sort of like the dude from, what is that show? Oh no. Now I can't think of it. Well, you know, that show. Somebody's going to tell me it, and then I'm going to feel silly. It's the guys who made Beavis and Butthead. Come on, guys. Somebody tell me the name of this goddamn show. Oh, well. You know what I'm talking about. Bobby. I don't know, guys. Anyways, this book, Full Moon, is fantastic, as you can tell by the reading that I did. In this one specifically, they go to take on a werewolf, but there's a twist, guys. Twist you don't see coming. Good guys are good guys, bad guys are bad guys. Who knows? Let's find out. There's CIA involved. Werewolves. One big werewolf who's like a special cursed werewolf who's stronger than all the other werewolves. And wizards who pack quite a wallop. So basically this series is bananas. It goes through the most insane story arc. I think it's at book 13 now. The new one's coming out in July. Hopefully unemployment will kick in and a few other things will kick in, and I can actually buy the book because I would love to, because he is my favorite author. So we'll see if that pulls off or not. I'm going to take one more bite of this delicious breakfast burrito that I made. This is how I eat now because I'm on camera. Hopefully you guys are all entertained, because that is the whole goal of this silly thing, is just to keep people entertained during the quarantine. If you like this video series and me and want to send me money so that I can buy another book or keep eating breakfast burritos, and, you know, pay my rent, all that crazy stuff, all you have to do is Venmo me at Ron-Swallow or PayPal me at ronswallow@gmail. So if you'd like to do that, you can, and it doesn't have to be much. You send me $1. I got like 5,000 friends on Facebook. So if everybody sends me $1, I have $5,000. But you know, anybody who sends anything is great, and I appreciate all the support that I've been getting from these videos and from doing live stand-up on Fridays. I also have, I guess, a Zoom show that I'm doing with friends on Sunday. And it's on Carol Newell's page, I believe. She might be sending it out from her Facebook invite. I don't know. I'm going to post about it. So I don't know all the technical stuff, but I think maybe you have to join the Zoom party to watch. But check it out on Sunday. I'll give you all the details on my Facebook's page and all of that good stuff. And then you can watch me do the stand-ups. But I think I'll be sitting down while I do the stand-ups. I have a microphone cord and a microphone that is not attached to anything that I hold, so I feel like I'm doing stand-up. And also because I think it's very silly, and I like to do silly things. So, also, be out there supporting everybody you can support, you guys. Like, whether it be watching stuff, Whether it be sending a few bucks here and there, buying people's masks that they make, whatever it is. You guys going out there doing that stuff is keeping everybody alive. That's for those of you who are still fortunate enough to be able to work from home and are doing okay. And I hope all of you are doing okay. Even I hope all my entertainment friends are figuring stuff out and surviving, coming up with silly ways to make money. If you want to also check out my other stuff, go to NerdGoat Patreon. NerdGoat. I have a Patreon for NerdGoat, so if you want to do that, you can. NerdGoat is basically just that silly show where Ed and I talk to a cool person about their favorite fictional character of all time. Time. If you listen, you know what that means. And then also, you can go to Reboot It on YouTube, a thing that Ed, Billy Business from Screen Junkie, and our producer of NerdGoat, Producer Bill, as we like to call him, reboot franchises that nobody wants to see reboot. In fact, today, The Matrix is out, and it was interesting. It was my idea to reboot The Matrix, and nobody really thought we could do it well. And so there was a little bit of button heads, and it took a while to figure out something, but I think we kind of put together something at the end that was pretty interesting. I'd love for you guys to go check it out and see what you think as well. So those are all the cool stuff I do. Like I said, on NerdGoat, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/nerdgoatpodcast, and it is fun. We do weird voices. We do talk about Saturday morning cartoons. We also talked about AI, and a guy literally messaged me and said, dude, I listened to that AI episode 3 times in a row, then I went and rewatched The Matrix, and it made The Matrix better. That's how cool we are, you guys. So check out the stuff that other stuff that I'm doing, because I work with really funny, cool, interesting people, and it's, I'm trying to do all that stuff for a living. The more people that get out there and check it out, the more I don't have to do anything but entertain you people. That's my goal in life, is to make some people laugh and have a nice time, teach you about cool ass books like Jim Butcher, Full Moon, and other authors and stuff like that. And I will be trying to do a few different things. I may do Tom Robbins' Still Life with a Woodpecker tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Friday, because this is gonna be Monday and Wednesday and Friday at 1 p.m. ish, depending on if I stay up till 5 in the morning or not. Hey! So thank you for watching another episode of Breakfast and a Book with Swallow. Bye.